Think your lashes have hit their limit? Discover limitless length and full volume with Maybelline Sky High Mascara. The Flex Tower brush bends to volumize and extend every single lash from root to tip. And the lightweight bamboo-infused formula makes lashes feel weightless. Now in 8 bold shades so you can take your lashes to new heights every day. Visit Maybelline.com to shop Sky High Mascara now.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
John Legend, Sheryl Crow, Elvis Costello, and Alanis Morissette star in the MGM Plus original series, Words and Music. Iconic artists share intimate performances and the stories behind the songs. New episodes Sundays on MGM Plus.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to this edition of There Can Only Be One, the podcast that puts together the all-star best of playlists of your favorite bands and artists. Hello to all of our listeners in Toronto, Ontario, and around the world. How the heck are you guys doing? All right, we're about to take a trip back to the 90s when, personal opinion, rock radio was at its absolute freaking peak, whether it be grunge in the early 90s, alt rock in the mid 90s, and of course you had the new metal coming up in the late 90s. 90s rock radio ruled, and one band that helped rule that time was Tonic. And here to join me, my lovely wife Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Would you say that they are the tonic to the 90s grunge rock era?
I think I might need a few more tonics in order to be able to get through that bad joke. But yes, indeed, they were definitely of the time. And you think about it too, appearing on a number of different soundtracks that were, let's be honest, on the Mount Rushmore of 90s soundtracks. Hello, American Pie. Tonic was definitely of the moment itself. But when I pitched this episode to you, like, I know, obviously, we've all listened to Tonic songs. How deep was your Tonic knowledge before going into this?
I would say about an album and a half. There was a lot of new ground to cover.
Mm-hmm. Not that it's a big discography, but I'll admit that for the most part, my Tonic knowledge kind of rested on the singles. So I'm with you. There's a lot to discover on this one. So strap in as we're about to go through 5 studio albums from the one and only Tonic. As always, we are not covering any live or compilation albums. Now, there is one album on our list that we are covering today, Lemon Parade Revisited. This, of course, is the acoustic re-recording of their debut album. But since, you know, we like to try and keep a 5 album minimum on here, and the recording of Revisited does add some new life to those songs. So you know what? It's fine by me. Our show, our rules, we're going to cover it. But we start back in 1996 with that debut album, Lemon Parade, released July 16th of that year. The band at this point is Emerson Hart, Jeff Russo, Dan Rothschild, and Kevin Shepard. The album hit number 28 on the Billboard 200 and number 12 in Australia. It is platinum in Australia, Canada, and the US, and there were 3 singles off of this one. If You Could Only See hit number 1 on US mainstream and Canadian alternative charts, and number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. And let's be honest, if you're going to start a song, just lyrically, just vocally, it's kind of hard to do it better than If You Could Only See did it in the 90s. Your thoughts on this disc?
The disc was the first listen for me. And I'm just going to go right into it. I really liked the title track. I really liked Lemon Parade.
Okay.
It was almost like, I don't know, this song kind of felt like it had a bit of nostalgia. And I'm like, Have I heard this before? I don't know, because it's not a standout to me. It's not one that I would listen to often or that I recognize from the radio. I mean, that would be If You Could Only See, right? That's like played every second song. But Lemon Parade was really good. It kind of, it almost had like this warm embrace. It felt like a warm hug from a lost friend. I don't know. Am I over romanticizing it?
I don't think you could ever really over romanticize any song if it hits you in the feels. And, Lemon Parade does pretty much do that. I had 2 songs on my short list. I had Casual Affair, which was one of the singles, and Soldier's Daughter, which was not one of the singles. But for me, my pick is going to be If You Could Only See, because let's be honest, this was the time, this was my first taste of Tonic. Yes, it was the 3rd single released from the album. It went Open Up Your Eyes, Casual Affair, and then If You Could Only See. This, of course, being the biggest one. But oh my God, you ever want to just immediately jump right into a song from a lyrical start off? Not many songs do it that well. Tonic nailed it with that one. But was Lemon Parade your actual pick off the disc?
It actually wasn't. I mean, as much as, I was really revving it up. You've got to help me out with this one, though. You mentioned that the songs were notably from movies or shows or soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
But Casual Affair, in the back of my memory, I can see a scene of a movie or TV series. It was a pivotal song. It literally helped tell the story of the scene that I'm thinking in my mind's eye that I honestly searched. I searched and I couldn't find any notable soundtrack connection for Casual Affair. But I don't know. Something tells me I keep drawing back to maybe a scene from Lucifer, because their music choice was always on point.
Well, according to thatsong.com, Casual Affair actually was not used in any TV shows or movies. Now, hear me out. From this album alone, If You Could Only See was used in an episode of The Curse and an episode of Daria. Mountain off of this disc was used in Warren Miller's 50, and Open Up Your Eyes was also in an episode of Daria. But no, Casual Affair, according to thatsong.com, not used in any TV show or movie.
Then I have clearly scripted a scene of a sitcom that needs to happen.
A sitcom or a drama?
Drama.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Tonic wrote good songs that were going to be used in TV shows and films. It makes total sense. Casual Affair definitely had that vibe of something like a Lucifer. I could easily see that one. Also, I miss Lucifer. It was such a good show. But yeah, no, it's a good song. Absolutely. Excellent choice. Next up is Sugar, released November 9th, 1999. We have a member change at this point. Dan Rothschild and Kevin Shepard are out. Dan Lavery joins on bass. Now, drums were done primarily by Pete Maloney, but Joey Waronker played on You Wanted More. The album hit number 81 on the Billboard 200, and there were 4 singles off of it. You Wanted More hit the highest, hitting number 3 on the US mainstream charts and number 6 on the Canadian alt charts. This is where the soundtracks come into play, because the American Pie soundtrack did feature You Wanted More. And that American Pie soundtrack, just have a listen to the bands on this and tell me it doesn't scream 1999. Third Eye Blind, Tonic, Blink-182, Sugar Ray, Dishwalla, Goldfinger, and a bunch of other bands that I had never known before. Dan Wilson from Semisonic was on this. So yeah, that is 1999 alt rock radio. You Wanted More, to me, is actually the best song on that entire freaking soundtrack.
And one time at band camp.
Oh, Allison Hannigan. Okay. So if You Wanted More is the best song, personal opinion on this soundtrack, is it the best song on Sugar for you?
And that's your pick? You're going with You Wanted More?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay. I liked Waltz With Me.
Okay.
That was on my short list, but inevitably I picked Mean to Me.
That's a good song too. Like,
not a happy one.
It's not a happy song at all. The next thing I like about Tonic, though, is that when you listen to the songs, and we're going to talk about this in a couple of albums' time, is that you can hear how they were most likely written acoustically and then transferred to the electric sound. And that is usually the indicator of a really, really good song. My short list on this album is freaking huge. I had Future Says Run, Mean to Me, Knock Down Walls, Waiting for the Light, and Drag Me Down on my short list. But no, I am going to be the basic bitch. I'm going to go with You Wanted More. But again, it's one of those things where a song sometimes indicates that time in your life, right? American Pie, that movie and that era were great times. And that soundtrack, I played the snot out of that soundtrack. If a soundtrack could have a cold, I played the snot out of it. That's how often I played it because I freaking love soundtracks. But no, that song, it's just so freaking good because it walked that nice balance too between that heavy chunk riff and then pulling back and almost a lighter riff during the chorus as well.
The Who's down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
Hey, the vibes are slipping. I think it's time to bring out the Velveeta shells and cheese. The holidays are a time to go all in on indulgence. Headline your meals with the rich, creamy meltiness of Velveeta shells and cheese and satisfy your holiday cravings like no other. Bring that main course energy to your side dish. Celebrate extra with Velveeta these holidays.
Head On Straight, released September 24th, 2002, hit number 141 on the Billboard 200. There are two singles off of this one. Take Me As I Am hit number 36 on the U.S. Adult Alternative charts. And at the 45th Grammys, the album was nominated for Best Rock Album, but lost to The Rising by Bruce Springsteen, naturally. And Take Me As I Am was nominated for Best Rock Performance by a duo or group with vocals, but lost to In My Place by Coldplay. So, one and only Grammy-nominated album. This was a first for me. I don't even remember this album coming out. And yes, I understand that there are some times when you listen to an artist and you deep dive them and then you stop. And then you're surprised when you realize that they keep going on. Had you ever heard a single thing off this album before doing this episode?
Not at all.
Okay, so
No.
You are like me and this was a complete and utter first listen for you. So Head On Straight, your thoughts on the album as a whole?
I liked it. I have a list. I have a short list. I liked Believe Me. I liked Irish. I inevitably picked Liar as my pick, my go-to off this album, but it was really good.
Irish was such a good song.
It wasn't it? Yeah.
Like the minute it started playing, I'm like, I need a beer. I need a beer stat. I probably need a good stout for it too. But yeah, I was blown away by how consistently good this album is. Like it's pretty much all the way through. I had Roses, Count on Me, and Head On Straight on my short list, but I went with the single Take Me As I Am. This is arena ready. The chorus is meant to be an arena. It's big, it's uplifting, it's a positive, catchy as hell song. And again, this is what Tonic does best until they took a bit of a break for 8 years and then came back with their self-titled album released May 4th, 2010. Hit number 150 on the Billboard 200 and number 25 on the US indie charts. There was one single off of this one, Release Me, hit number 34 on the US adult alternative charts. And that's how I know when I'm feeling old, when I have to start mentioning the adult alternative charts. But coming back after 8 years, still strong songwriting, your thoughts and your pick.
This album was a first listen, and I kind of felt it was a meh all the way through. Like I was forcing myself to pick something. So I don't have a short list. I struggled with this one, but I inevitably picked Torn to Pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll admit that coming off of Head On Straight, and yes, I am that guy who goes through these albums chronologically because I'm extra. It doesn't meet up to Head On Straight. I will be the first to admit that and agree with you. But I still found some good songs on here. On my short list were Send a Message, Nothing is Everything, and Feel It Now. For once, I didn't go with the single, which, surprises me because Tonic, every now and then a band comes out and the single comes out and you know that's going to be your pick because it's the best song. Why wouldn't you release the best song on the album? But for me, I ended up going with I Want It to Be. There was just something about it that stood out for me on this one. And while admittedly the album doesn't hold up to the rest of the discography, it's still got some decent songs on it. Now, we're going to get a chance to actually see Tonic live when they come up north. I am really, really looking forward to that one. So that's going to be a good show. Finally, we have Lemon Parade Revisited. This is the acoustic re-recording of their first album, funded through Pledge Music and completely and utterly self-released. Released on July 22nd, 2016, and recorded as a trio because there's no actual drums on this, although Dan Lavery did do percussion, but this is pretty much guitars, bass, and keyboards. And going back, and again, we don't have to go back too far, the acoustic versus the original studio release, which one did you find you preferred?
Oh, absolutely the acoustic. Like, it was almost like, at first I was really happy because I'm like, this is my second chance to pick Lemon Parade.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't.
Wow.
Strangely enough, I know, because it was almost like this is how If You Could Only See was meant to be played.
Mm-hmm.
Like the acoustic version, as much as I don't love this song, I find it's really upsetting, actually. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad subject matter. But acoustically, this is how this song is supposed to sound.
You know what's funny? I mean, not that, I would have picked it twice, but this version didn't even make my short list.
Oh.
Yeah. I had Casual Affair on my short list, but also Thick and Wicked Soldier made their way onto the short list. But this is, to me, the definitive version of Soldier's Daughter. It feels so lush. It feels like where the harmonies are actually given a chance to come up into the mix, allowing the lyrics to really come through and shine on this. That's what happens sometimes when you do an acoustic album. You have the electric version in your mind, right? And it's sometimes big and sometimes bombastic. Then you strip it down and you get to the meat of the song. And Soldier's Daughter, while it wasn't big and bombastic on the original Lemon Parade album, here, the drums taken away, stripped down, and it felt like a very raw recording. That was the one thing I liked about this. It felt like sitting in a cottage with the three members of Tonic, a couple of guitars, maybe a couple beers, and just playing through some songs, or maybe out by a campfire. And it had that vibe to it. And Soldier's Daughter benefited from that setting. I like the fact that it felt like a less polished recording. I like the fact that it felt very off the floor. Like it didn't feel overproduced. It didn't feel like everything has to be meticulous and perfect. No. couple guitars, some songs, a couple of mics, and the truth. That's what Lemon Parade Revisited is to me.
I'm always such a fan of the acoustic version, though, like Alice in Chains and Nirvana and...
Well, the Unplugged, yeah.
Well, exactly, right? It was almost like, exactly like you said, campfire music, stripped down, just enjoying the songs for how they were meant to sound.
Yeah, it's not the meat of the song, it's the soul of the song that makes its way onto the disc in this case. All right. Bit of a short show, but that's okay. But we still have our 5 picks. So, Carrie, remind our listeners what your picks are from the 5 Tonic albums. And if there can only be one Tonic song, what's it going to be?
From the 1996 Lemon Parade, I went with Casual Affair. From 1999's Sugar, I went with Why You Gotta Be So Mean to Me. But you're not.
I'm not.
You're not really.
I try not to be.
From 2002's Head On Straight, I went with Liar. From 2010's self-titled Tonic album, I went with Torn to Pieces. And from 2016's Lemon Parade Revisited, I chose If You Could Only See the acoustic version.
And if there can only be one Tonic song,
my only one has got to be Casual Affair and the yet-to-be-produced television dramatic series.
We'll make it a made-for-Netflix Lucifer revisit.
Right? Oh, that'd be great.
Right? Make it happen. All right. From 1996's Lemon Parade, I went with If You Could Only See. From 1999's Sugar, I went with You Wanted More. From 2002's Head On Straight, I went with Take Me As I Am. From Tonic, the self-titled album, I went with I Want It To Be. And from Lemon Parade Revisited, I went with Soldier's Daughter. And before I drop my pick, Carrie, I want to say thank you for toughing it out. Dear listeners, you may have noticed that my wife sounds a bit more blues lounge singery today.
Smoky.
A little smoky. Carrie is coming off a real nasty, sick. It knocked her out completely, but she's still here to record shows for you. So big round of applause for Carrie. Thank you so much for this. For my pick, I'm going with You Wanted More, because I think even though If You Could Only See was that first taste, I think You Wanted More kind of hits more. Not necessarily from a lyrical perspective, but definitely from a musical perspective. Like, if I were to say, hey, what Tonic song would I want to play in a cover band, I think You Wanted More might be the one that kind of hits the set list first. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And to you, our dear listeners, well, you guys know the drill. If there is an artist that you want us to cover on There Can Only Be One, or an album that you want us to cover on Spin, Shuffle, Skip, hit us up on social media at OnlyOneCast, or go to our website, notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, make sure you check out all of our other shows and subscribe to the page so you get notified when we drop a new one. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is There Can Only Be One, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.